I scrounged up all of my 3/4 inch square tubing. Yes, it's all out of the same shape. Made some sweet pendants out of it. If you've seen some of my other videos, you might notice, yeah, it is the same stuff I use for railings, coffee tables, you name it. Square tubing is awesome for a ton of projects. Most of the cuts were done on the chop saw. If you don't have one, an angle grinder will do, but I would highly suggest for this project, it might be worth making the upgrade to a chop saw, or even really splurging and getting an Evolution metal cutting saw. Not sponsored, but I've had a couple of these and they are awesome. Cut like butter. Since most of the cuts were done with the chop saw, it does leave a lot of flashing and just some ugly edges, so a quick bevel with a grinder or the grinder wheel on an angle grinder makes easy work of it just to clean up those edges. It also helps to get a clean weld because your joints are just prepped and ready to go. In addition to those edges, I am going to be using 3 main attachments to the angle grinder just to get it totally prepped. One of them would be a wire wheel. That's just to get off kind of some of the bigger rust or, mill scale. Next would be sometimes a grinder if it's really thick. But to get that really nice shiny surface, that is a flap or flapper diff. A box for top and bottom, and then the 4 connecting pieces. I've got 24 pieces in total for 2 pendants, and just take a look at how good those look. So I always do a test weld, and just take a listen to this. And now this. Now, whether you're a seasoned welder or not, you probably can tell that the second one was just a lot smoother weld. And that's because my polarity was wrong. Previously, I was flux core welding, and for this project, I switched it over to MIG welding. That's with gas. And another tip is, hey, pick up magnets. They're cheap, and for little box structures like this, they are perfect to hold everything in place and to get those correct 90-degree angles just to get a nice box frame. Now you'll notice that I'm kind of just hitting the corners at first, and that's because I'm putting in tack welds. That's so then it holds it in place before you go through and make the full weld. Now personally, I like a good looking weld shown, but to be able to tie in the top and bottom frames, I just wanted a nice flat surface to be able to get a good weld in there and not have to fill a gap. You may not have been able to tell by now, but my bottom frame is actually about 1.5 inches bigger overall than the top frame, and that's so then you can get a nice angled look. So yes, I should have pulled out a protractor to actually get those angles perfect, but just by doing tack welds, you can actually kind of move it around and shift it to get it perfect prior to making those full welds. I am going to be dangling these, dangling, that's a funny word, these pendants off of one chain, so as to not be lopsided like an uneven picture. I'm finding the center for that cross piece, and then obviously the center to attach the hook to. Assuming all of your other angles are correct and everything's square and true, you should be good. I had some rusty bar just lying around, and I figured it'd actually be a great accent piece for some crossbars. So being rusty, here's a little pro tip for you. Just chuck it up in a drill and run some sandpaper up and down it. Cleans it right off. After all that cutting, welding, grinding, your metal is going to be dirty for sure. Now the quickest and best way to clean it off is with either acetone or mineral spirits. You just do a quick wipe and it actually dries really quickly and you're ready for prime and paint. For the actual paint, I just go with rattle can, and I do start off with a primer and then go with the actual coat. The hardest part with a project like this is really getting into the backside or the underside. Trying to go through those front pieces, you'll notice that it actually kind of builds up on that, and don't look too close, but there's a couple runs. It just takes an extra minute to actually clean those off and then redo another coat. And the key here is many light coats. These two blocks are just some MDF, square pieces that I cut up. They are going to be what I'm attaching the actual chain and then running the wires through and holding up the pendants themselves. The sky's the limit on things you can actually do for this attachment, but in the spirit of just using what I had lying around, this is what I went with. So I simply just drilled a hole in the center for the hook and then another hole for the wire to pass through. And then I did add a couple of the holes not shown for the screws to go up into the ceiling itself and attach it up there. The light sockets themselves, I just scavenged from some old light fixtures. And then, so those came with the 2 leads, and then I just picked up some lamp cord to actually solder onto those to then go up into the electrical box itself. Now, from here on out, it really is just as simple as white to white and black to black. If your light did come with a bare copper or green wire, that's to your ground. I did go up into some studs, and I would highly suggest that if you by chance went with some really crazy thick steel, make sure it's going into a stud, especially if your kids are like Tarzan and want to swing off of them. I'm hooking up the chandelier as well. Now, I did do the video for that one like 2 years ago, prior to our remodel. Go check that out. I'll end with a couple still shots. Thanks for watching. I'm MechMaster. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.